So it's me again, and finally our M700 Remington, it finally made some good grooves on paper. So really all we did was mock bed it, and once she takes it apart to travel with it, because if she's going across state lines, I mean, Goldenrod's based out of Florida, so if she's talking about hunting antelope, there ain't no antelope anywhere close around here. So she's going out to Wyoming, New Mexico, she's traveling across state lines. And anymore, you can't travel across state lines with these firearms assembled, or else you run a severe risk of being caught up. And if she's going to fly out, then she definitely has to disassemble it. Now, even if it's in a lock box, it has to be disassembled, the upper from the lower, from the stock body, from the action. But so she's going to be taken out of there. When she takes it out of there, the mock bedding is going to pull out with it. So the difference in mock and what we're going to do is the mock is laid in with, the way I lay it in is with some of this mesh tape, sheetrock mesh tape right here, like this new ballistic helmet I'm making. And I don't even see it now, because you see my Loctite hardener. I use Loctite hardener to make bed, but it's gonna stay, because this is hits from a 22 rifle, this is hits from a 5.56, and there's nothing on the inside, and I created this helmet out of it same way too. And it does accept 5.56, and it'll accept them again without having to replace the unit. But that's all poor man patented. However, moving on with my presentation and putting this Loctite stuff in here, we're going to be filling everywhere, say like for an example, inside this air rifle stock, these baffles in this grooved area right here, it's all hollow and it's real light, and it just lets the firearm feel what I call trashy in your hands. What trashy is it's like real vibratory. The harmonics of the gun is off. So once we get all of this stuff dammed off that we want dammed off, we want to fill in this while keeping our pillar right here in the back to keep up our action where it needs to be, and to make sure that this thing sits nice and perfect and snug as a bug right down in this stock. This one, the only way I have to bed it is to come underneath here and fill in some of this to give it some of the weight that the stock needs back, because otherwise it does, because of its pillar in the back, sit really great in the stock. But it also has horizontal mounting fixtures, which I strongly agree with, because you can adjust each side with your tension per changing how your action sits in the stock. But to go ahead and dam it up, say if I had to like dam it up, I like using modeling clay, molding clay. It can be used over and over and over and over again. If you need it a little bit harder, you just stick it in the fridge for a little bit. It's already in roughly magazine well shaped pieces. I mean, so we just slide them in, stick them in where we need them, and we just lay this down kind of like a bread basket. If we're gonna make like some eggs benedict or something, I don't know how many of you guys are chefs, but anyhow, once we get all that in there and we get our everything masked off with our tape, cardstock covering up anything else that we need to cover up, we're gonna get some in around underneath this and make sure it's seated in there good, and just enough on the sides to where it's gonna help make us a seal here, so that when we lay our action back into the stock, and it's sitting nice and tight, we're gonna then hit that red dot button.
No, you're going.
That's the record seat.
Blind, man. Oh, okay.
Sorry about that, new camera guy. But we're working on those things, right? But while looking for what I was going to use to bungee my action into my stock, I mean, you could use hose, you could use slingshot, medical tubing. There's lots of different things you can use, but something just elastic, a tourniquet. I mean, there's zip ties, I mean, all kinds of things. Wire you can hold this in here with, just tight enough to where you get your little bead here on the edge to protrude so that you can wipe it away and get something in here and finish off this edge really good to get all of this Max PL. And I'm telling you, this is going to be, you guys should try this. And just don't tell nobody else about it. You can have this one, but you'll thank me later. Like I said, I did make this helmet that I've took rounds with, and see, there's no daylight still. I mean, it's still good, but you can't have that one, however, by the way. But I could make you one. I'm not going to make any pressure point of the barrel. I'm going to leave it free floated because sitting on the mock bed, just on its temporary cradle right there, it was we were getting good results out of it. So it's going to stay the same. And let me see here. The last thing that I could say about it is the only reason that I'm not just leaving the old stuff in there is because when you take it apart, that mock bedding is not going to go back together, and it would behoove of you, since you put so much time and effort into this firearm, you don't want it taken away. And this is a special hunt that, even though everything's special and it's a nice day for you and all, Princess, you know, no disrespect intended, ma'am. However, you can still get pulled over, and some cops still could be having a bad day. And if it's technically the law, it's technically the law. And these days they want to paint all of us like we're criminals. So, I mean, in a time when people are getting beat up and thrown on the ground because they're waiting on the bus next to somebody in New York, or because they're going to jail because their kid's playing with somebody else's kid down the street, you better take that firearm apart to transport it across that line so that you can show them, like, no, this thing's completely disassembled and yada yada. It's to me, and so that they can't hem me up, because cops are gun guys too, but they're not always honest. I'm just saying. It happens. It happens. They'll take your stuff too just to take it. Just to flex. But I digress. But that's the main reason why I would take it out, plus as compared to the body filler as well, the permanent bed being set in something that has a 20-year functional lifetime in the weather. In acclimate weather, it has a 20-year guarantee. I can still guarantee that work too, though, for 5 years, 10 years. I've only put it in one rifle. This one rifle I've fired numerous times, and we've got no problems out of it yet. But it's only been 5 years that this stuff's been in there. So I can't really go into anything past 5 years, but I can still put a 5-year guarantee on that product inside of there. I mean, and it's not as flammable as the glass. So I mean, definitely want your firearm to catch fire inside your fireproof safe. Have that glass in there, because it's going to ignite. It's that flammable. Like when you've got that glass bed in there, it's going to ignite just from the heat. Unless you've got a Liberty, maybe they're all right. Unless you build it yourself, pretty much. But that's pretty much all we're going to be doing with the rifle. And again, sir, I'm sorry, but I didn't realize I was going to get so sick, and I didn't want to be quarantined up and then miss even more school. So I had to wait on getting paid to get those antibiotics myself and take care of it. And I appreciate you letting me waste a little bit extra of your time and turning this in late. And I have those doctor's excuses into you as well. Ooh.